The relationship between JARS and Gethsemane Gardens Christian Center goes back many years. Gethsemane Gardens is a school and an orphanage that was founded by a translator, Naftali Mata, who was working with Kenya BTL. He and his wife, Nerea, founded the school back in 2003. In 2011, a boat capsized and about 16 people lost their lives, including some of the contractors who were working on building the Gethsemane Gardens School. That was a significant blow to that community, obviously, but it really reinforced the need that they have.
We have lost many lives. We have lost many lives in the waters of Lake Victoria, just because we did not know what to do when an accident occurs.
If I could be recalled, there were 3 people in a boat, and one person dropped into the water. And because the other people did not know what to do in time, so this person drowned and he died. How I wish that they had the technique of the things that we have learned within this time that you've been here. I think that was a life to be saved.
I want to say that knowledge is power. The moment that our people get the knowledge, then we are able to get safe, even when we are traveling into much water.
In response to the request, JARS Maritime was able to provide some resources and some training. In September of 21, a team from JARS Maritime had the opportunity to carry 50 life jackets and a number of other pieces of safety equipment with us to Fangano Island. Fangano Island is in the northeast corner of Lake Victoria in East Africa. It's about 10 miles from the mainland of the Kenyan shoreline. And so for most of the local community, the only way to get to and from the mainland is by boat.
After translating the Bible, we make sure we take the materials to the mainland and various parts of the islands. So when we are going or traveling to these places, we travel over water. There is no way you can go to the next station unless you go through water.
The commercial boats are readily available, but they're not always well equipped for safety equipment. And also, they're often overloaded. And so it can become quite dangerous, especially when weather changes very quickly.
One of the opportunities that we had while we were on Fangano Island was to meet with the Bible translators working on the Suba translation.
I want to say that Tim and your team, God brought you at the right time. We really need what God has put in your ministry.
It was an amazing opportunity to revisit this relationship and to just provide some encouragement, some hope that the risks, the dangers, the challenges of traveling on the water between the island and the mainland could be safer.
The fear itself can make somebody to lose his life or her life. But the moment that you have the knowledge, so you really know how to carry out yourself, even when you are in the much waters.
My name is Kefo Chien Castro Fidel Tieno. My name is Eliud Kiche Ojuan.
Today I'm happy because we have received this training from the JARS. The fact is that we need this kind of thing because this is where we live in and we're in an island, and so we have to travel in water.
We were so blessed to work with students and teachers who were so excited about this material. Even during the landside portion, which is a lot of information at one time, you could see how excited they were and how engaged they were with the material. At one point during a tethering exercise, there were students and administrators and teachers all rolling around on the floor together, trying to tether themselves together for a module. For the training, we decided to start with a landside classroom portion. And one of our goals with this was to be able to introduce the participants to some of the gear that they would be using.
And I've never put a life jacket. For a long time, I've been traveling like where I am, across and back. But now I know the importance of a life jacket.
We also introduced them to the ditch bags, and a ditch bag basically is a safety kit that includes various gear that you can use in a water rescue or water survival scenario. Our second goal with the landside portion of the training was to introduce some water survival concepts that they would later use in the in-water portion of the training. So really all of our modules led up to three main modules: water rescue, man overboard, and water survival. We actually also ended up doing a first aid CPR training, which we did not go in with the intention of doing this training, but once we got there, some of the administrators who we were working with requested that we do a quick training on first aid and CPR. So we made sure to tell them that we were not official trainers or anything in that capacity, but we were willing to kind of share the information that we had learned. And it was actually kind of funny because we weren't going in with the plan of doing CPR training. We didn't have any type of CPR dummy or anything like that, and so we made like a makeshift CPR dummy. So we had an old jug that we had found, and we cut it open and we stuffed an old pillow inside to give a very small scale and rough example of what it feels like to do chest compression. So it was unplanned, but I think the Lord really used it to hopefully give some helpful skills and some useful knowledge for the future.
After we left, we arranged with GGCC students to actually give the same training to the BTL members on the island. The school administration actually had students teach the adult BTL members. They were amazed by the confidence and the ability that these students had.
When the students came in uniforms and with the ditch bags and the life jackets hanging on their shoulders, I said, wow, this is interesting. So we are going to be taught by these young lads, and they did it so well, and we were so much surprised how good they were, how much content they had grasped, which means makes me appreciate the kind of training you gave them, or the drill, because they are now like trainers of trainees.
So the students gave the same kind of classroom teaching that we did, and then actually took them out onto the water. The in-water training modules put into practice what we've taught in the classroom. Although we strive to make classroom teaching as hands-on and engaging as possible, there's nothing quite like in deep water practice to prepare for the realities of a true emergency. So performing a surprise man overboard exercise allowed the trainees to evaluate their responses, ranging from frozen astonishment to rapid and appropriate action.
We learned that one of the local languages, Luo, the term for man overboard in that language is Luarepi.
Likewise, actual in-water group survival practice allows the trainees to experience for themselves that proper training, preparation, and practice is vital for the realities of water survival.
Today when we went in the water and then I was jumping in the water with the life jacket, I was like, I'm going to go down and down and down deep inside the lake. When I saw myself body coming up to the life jacket, I saw the importance of a life jacket. So I was like, this is the best thing that we need to have around.
They discovered that performing survival techniques in the lake is very different, much more difficult than practicing on land. It also stripped away the bravado of the overconfident and encouraged the fearful. It highlighted the importance of teamwork and, perhaps most vitally, it gave hope to them all that a water travel emergency is in fact survival.
My favorite lesson was now part of the practical. Now I was able to get into the water and actually perform some of the things that were taught.
I think one of the most rewarding aspects of the training for me was actually being in the water with the students and practicing various different scenarios. Once we had already determined that everybody was okay, everyone was floating, there were injuries taken care of, we could deal with the morale aspect. And we sang praise songs.
Cast the burdens unto Jesus, for he cares for you.
One of the students who had the experience really encouraged us. It was our first time to sing, praising God while in water, and people enjoying and laughing and encouraging each other.
It was an eye-opener. We learned so many things, the theoretical aspects of water safety, and indeed we got a lot of knowledge and insights.
I thought when the training was over was that this thing can only be done with strong enough people. But I realized at the practical part of it that it can be done by both young and old, men and women.
Personally, I fear traveling in much waters, but the experience that I got during this time gave me courage to travel in waters because I'm safe.
Overall, we were really blessed and really thankful to have had this opportunity to work with so many awesome people.
Thank you so much. I'm now so knowledgeable. I'm so confident. I know what to do when an accident like that occurs.
We want to appreciate you so very much for empowering us.
Let us not keep this information to ourselves. You can be sure that this team, the participants, have learned, and we are committed to passing this information first to the Gethsemane family and then going beyond. We thank God who has today blessed us with some brothers and a sister from JAS. May God bless you. May you continue to pass this information to the rest of the people that lives can be saved.
Amen. Thank you very much.